Good day, everybody. It's me. It's your old pal from down under, and I'm referring to South Florida, of course. And what are we looking at here today, boys and girls? Well, we're looking at yet another exciting game for the Tandy Color Computer 3 as we celebrate September in the month of CoCo Gaming as we continue this marathon of all the incredible, exciting games for the Tandy Color Computer 3 that I am now just discovering for the first time in 30 years. And since the last video that was released recently was Sockmaster's Donkey Kong, I thought it only be fitting to show Nick Marentes' Pac-Man, which is also an unofficial port of Pac-Man, I guess you could call it. Now, the difference here is that Sockmaster actually took the exact arcade code and rewrote that code for the CoCo. So Sockmaster's Donkey Kong is literally the exact Donkey Kong from the arcade. What Nick Marentes did was basically rewrite the program. So he wrote this from scratch on the CoCo 3, but it's heavily inspired by the arcade version, but it is a 100% original interpretation of that game. And this was one of the earliest unexpected interviews I had, was during a live stream where we were just playing random games, and Nick kind of came in and got on a Skype call and started explaining to us how he made the game. One of the things that I thought was really cool was that Nick actually said he used a cassette recorder to record some of the sounds from the arcade machine that ended up becoming sampled into the game. So without any further ado, why don't we jump in and play the game, and let's see how horribly I can do at it. And what it's looking like here is that I need to move my joystick over. And this is the one thing, if I have any gripes about CoCo games, is nobody's standardized what player one's controller should be. Some people use the left joystick, some people use the right, but nobody's quite said this is how it's going to be. Let's all get together, let's have a meeting, and let's make this, you know, the formal standard. So you see that we have the background sirens running. And we have the death sound, and we have the music. I would say the only thing that sounds slightly different is the munching sound. And the munching sound isn't horrible. It's just slightly different. That sounds good. Ooh, whoop. I love that Pac-Man gulp sound. Ooh, whoop. This sound here is a little bit different too. That sounds pretty close to the arcade original. Ooh, crapola. That's kind of cool. So as I'm sitting here talking and trying to play at the same time, you know how that goes. Well, let me just tell you this. Am I being biased because I like Nick? Well, I'm not going to lie. Yes, I like Nick. But I'm pretty truthful in my opinion sharing about things. And I'm not just saying this because I like Nick. I'm saying this because this is a damn good game. And what I'm going to say is this. This is a damn good game. So this is Pac-Man, a tribute to the great game, programmed for the Color Computer 3 in 1997 by Nicolas Marentes, version 1.0, serial number quad zeros. Game testing by John Kowalski, a.k.a. the Sockmaster, the man who brought us the real Donkey Kong. And it says Pac-Man graphics, sound, and gameplay is the trademark of Namco Midway. Press joystick buttons to play. Let's play it again. Let's see if I can clear 2 rounds, and let's see if I can bring out an intermission. Let's see if it has that feature. The maze is pretty much spot on. The colors are pretty much perfect to how I remember this game being in the arcade. And the thing I like here is that all the scores are on the side, so it doesn't mess with the tall, vertical maze field. So the playing field is just about as much of the playing field as you had in the arcade game. The colors are as close to arcade as I can remember without being able to compare them side by side. I'd say they're pretty darn accurate. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. Let me go ahead and take out the dots. It's very playable. Let me eat you, blue dude. Whoa, 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 whoa. One last dot. Yes, I've cleared one level. I've cleared one round, which is better than I could do in Sockmaster's Donkey Kong, which kicked my butt all over the place. What I'm curious to see is, are there intermissions when I clear level 2? Wow. Now I've got 7,000 points. The way the arcade ran was you got a free Packer at 10K. So can I make it to 10K? I don't know. At this pace, possibly not. What I need to do here is just play it safe and go for dots. Don't try to be a hero, Steve. Just go for dots, bro. The point junkie in me cringes when I don't do everything I can to get every possible point. But yeah, sometimes trying to be brave and awesome results in a freaking pathetic death. Alright, so let's clear the screen. Let's see if we have an intermission now. Yes, we do. And we're chasing it back. He should be giant now. Yes. That's pretty darn good, I have to say. And now we're back. And yeah, I just noticed that the fruits are on the right-hand side instead of on the bottom. But now that tells you kind of what stage you're on. That was kind of your indicator. Where were you in the world of Pac-Man? There's my 10,000. Just got a free life. I must say, Nick Marentes did one heck of a job on this homemade reimagining and recreation of a classic, timeless arcade game. Blah 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 blah. So I would have to say this is probably the best Pac-Man version for the CoCo. Obviously for the CoCo 3. But if we include all versions of all CoCos and all versions of all Pac-Man, this is hands down the best version of Pac-Man for all CoCos in the history of color computers. In the colorful history of Tandy's underdog computer. Oh, dude, what's gonna happen? Oh, dude, I died before I got the last dot. Oh, man, what a fun game. What a fun game. What a good game. I mean, it's Pac-Man. Pac-Man is timeless. Pac-Man is somewhat simple, somewhat repetitive, somewhat monotonous, but that was kind of the format and formula for all of the arcade games of the 80s. It basically got progressively harder until you were just no longer humanly capable of playing it anymore, and you were utterly defeated and humiliated and annihilated, and you laid your head low in shame, much like I do on a daily basis. And this is Pac-Man by Nick Marentes from 1997 for the Color Computer 3. And while we're on the subject of Color Computer 3, and while we're on the subject of Nick Marentes, this seems like a perfect segue to talk about Nick's latest game, which is going to be the newest game for the Color Computer 3 that will be coming out this holiday season, just in time for Christmas. How about getting a new CoCo 3 game under your tree? Nick's latest game is going to be Popstar Pilot. So let's take a look at a little promo video for Nick's Popstar Pilot game. And how about those apples? I cannot wait to get my own copy of Popstar Pilot for Christmas this year. It is going to be awesome. So I hope you did enjoy this preview of Nick Marentes' Pac-Man. Is that the right way to say Nick Marentes? Is it like Nick Marentes apostrophe, or is it Nick Marentes apostrophe S Nick Marentes's? I don't know. I am not sure how we use grammar and punctuation on the bottom of the planet. I think the rules are upside down over there. I'm not exactly sure. Let's just say Nick Marentes. Let's just say good eye to Nick, the Thunder from Down Under, making some of the greatest, most colorful, most soundful, most arcadeable games for the Color Computer 3 in the history of the Color Computer 3. And this is just one of many great timeless classics. I hope you did enjoy it. I have been the original gamer, ogStevieStrow, and the month of CoCo Gaming in September will continue. I hope you did enjoy this. Please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, throw out a comment, and share with your friends. Don't forget to listen to the CoCo Crew podcast, John Linville and Neil Blanchard, every month at cococrew.org. Also, make sure you pick up a copy of Boise and Bill's book, which is called CoCo, The Colorful History of Tandy's Underdog Computer, the greatest book in the history of books and in the history of the Color Computer. And speaking of Color Computer, if you just can't get enough Color Computer video games, then head over to my website, ogStevieStrow.com, and pick yourself up a copy of my exclusive CoCo Fest 25th Anniversary Color Computer Games DVD, featuring over 20 videos and 3 hours of non-stop CoCo gaming goodness. You can catch that at ogStevieStrow.com. I will see y'all next time. Long live the CoCo. Long live the CoCo. Peace out. And have you got your CoCo 3 yet? I got mine. Bye-bye, everybody.